What is going on, my dudes? Tystra here, back again with another Genshin Impact video, the first Genshin Impact video of 2022. And as always, guys, if you like the content, please make sure to hit that like and subscribe button down below. Don't forget to hit the notification bell to be reminded of when a new video comes out. And of course, comment about what you think about this video. Now, today we're going to be talking about Shenhe and Xiao rerun banners that are coming out here on Tuesday. I'm extremely excited for it. Like, when this video goes out, it should be that they release tomorrow. Or not tomorrow, but it should be the next day. So I'm recording this on Sunday. It's going to be released tomorrow or today on Monday. You get it. You get it. It's released on Monday, banners on Tuesday. That's what we're talking about. So, just to kind of give you a little short thing really quick, summons for Shenhe are going to happen on Wednesday on twitch.tv/Tystra and then hopefully the video will be released by Friday. That's the goal here. So we might have a double upload on Friday. I'm hoping to actually release it on Thursday. But anyway, enough talk about that. We're here to talk about should you summon on these banners. Now, of course, we have not only the Shenhe banner, but we also have... Wait, where is it? Boom. Boom. There we go. We have the Xiao banner as well. And both these banners have the Examsat 4 stars, as you see, Chongyun, Ningguang, and Yunjin. So it's not like you guys are getting anything different when it comes to the two banners, except for the 5-star, which is Shenhe and Xiao. So let's go ahead and talk about these characters a little bit. So we're gonna start with the 4 stars because it's a little bit easier. I've had a little bit of time with these 4 stars as always. Got a little bit of notes here on the side, so bear with me on that. But let's go ahead first talk about Chongyun. Chongyun is a decent character. Definitely not one of the best 4 stars in my personal opinion, only because of the fact that, you know, there are plenty of other 4 stars that do the burst support role way better than him. However, he's not bad to have. He's definitely a highly underrated character. I wouldn't say he's the worst, but he's definitely not the best. So definitely worth it. Right now, his best kind of concept build would be to run him with either your 5-star Wolf's Gravestone or a 4-star Serpent Spine. You know, then for your artifacts, you want to run... You could run, honestly, 2-piece Noblesse Oblige and Blizzard Strayer, which is the best set that people are saying. You could run Emblem of Severed Fate. You could run a 4-piece Noblesse. There's a lot of different combinations you could run with him. As I said, guys, these are notes on the side, so bear with me as I'm going to be looking over to make sure that I know what I'm talking about. But you got those for your main stats. Definitely you want to have attack percentage or energy recharge on your sands because you're really going to be kind of using him as a battery almost. So you could technically use him in conjunction with Shenhe, but Shenhe is going to be a little bit more support as well. So really the battery is mainly going to go towards characters like, you know, if you were running him in conjunction with like Eula or Ganyu or Ayaka, you know, you could run him to get basically their ults ready to go. So, but attack percentage, energy recharge, or even elemental mastery, I don't entirely agree with that, because I've heard people use elemental mastery for the sands. I don't entirely agree with that. I'd rather use the energy recharge percentage personally, because if I'm running a Chongyun burst support, I'm not worried too much about attack because he doesn't really, or not that I know of, he doesn't scale on attack. I could be wrong on that, but either way. So Goblet, cryo damage, makes sense because obviously, you know, with him, he's cryo, and if he's going to use burst support, even as a battery, you're still going to want to get a little bit of damage from your cryo, so it makes perfect sense with that. And of course, the circlet is crit rate and crit damage. Pretty self-explanatory. Substats, you want to go for crit rate, crit damage, elemental mastery, energy recharge, and flat attack. I would honestly rank energy recharge a little bit higher than elemental mastery, but at the same time, for a burst support, it would make sense a little bit to have elemental mastery higher on your substats. I just wouldn't have it as your main stat for your sands. So, elemental mastery, pretty good, obviously, for burst support. What number 1 talent priority? Burst, is because you want to keep that burst going and going and going and going because it's going to help out everybody. So Chongyun, decent pick, not the best, not the worst. Let's move on. So this is actually one I kind of called would be on the banner. Me and Maury were actually talking about it, and She was like, I don't have Ningguang. Well, now you're gonna get Ningguang. Best kind of build is a DPS build. You could even run her as a sub DPS slash nuke. I would still run DPS personally, but there's also one of my homies, Grub, who runs a healer Ningguang. Let that sink in for a second. That's a little weird. Anyways, you could either run 5-piece Memory of Dust as her talent, or this one I'm kind of reading off of another like guide because I don't know much about Ningguang. I don't use her. But you could use Memory of Dust, or you could actually use Dodoko Tails, which is something that we got during the Golden Apple Archipelago, or an easier one to get would be the Widsith or Solar Pearl. Now, I have currently on my Ningguang, and she isn't built up just yet, but I have gotten her stuff done. 2-piece Archaic, 2-piece Glad on mine, but you could even run, let's see, it's suggesting 2-piece Noblesse and Archaic. I mean, yeah, I guess you could run that. Makes a little bit of sense. Retracing Bolide. I haven't really used Retracing Bolide, so it's possible. But I'm definitely running on mine once she's actually built up fully and I actually start using her. 2-piece Archaic, 2-piece Gladiator. So, Sands, you want to run an attack percentage Sands, which makes sense. Goblet, Geo damage, Circlet, crit rate, crit damage, especially since she's going to be a DPS mainly. Now, if you were running the sub DPS slash nuke, it'd still be the same thing. The builds are going to be basically the same exact thing except for weapons. On a sub DPS, you're going to be running Skyward Atlas or Solar Pearl. So there's that. But honestly, you could run Solar Pearl on both builds and still be fine. Substats, same as both. Crit rate, crit damage, attack percentage, energy recharge, and flat attack. Crit rate and crit damage are about even. It depends on what you already have built. And that's what a lot of people don't understand about these, is that you got to make sure that if you have more crit rate at the moment, you want to make sure to put your circlet in crit damage or your substats in crit damage. Talent priority for her, normal attacks because she is that DPS. Burst and skill, so 1, 2, 3. You could do on your sub DPS burst skill normal attack because you're not worried about the normal attack, so that kind of makes sense. Overall, she looks like she's a good character regardless, and you're getting the new outfit with her, so it makes kind of a little bit of sense that you would run a little bit of Ningguang, so pretty good on that. Now, Yunjin is a little bit different. The only reason why I say Yunjin's a little bit different is because we don't know what she's going to be good with. Weapon-wise, I don't entirely know. I'm going to guess probably Lithic Spear might be a good one for her for 4-star. You might see, what was it? I think it's Primordial Jade Winged Spear. Maybe even Vortex Vanquisher as a possibility. I could be wrong on that. I'm just guessing off the top of my head. But I definitely would say for pole arms for her, let's see, 5-star. If we're going to do a 5-star one, you could probably do... Yeah, probably Vortex Vanquisher because of the shield strength that you get from her E. And then definitely for the 4-star, you could probably run... Yeah, Lithic Spear would be a decent one. And, of course, the catch. The catch could be good, especially with the Geo damage. But yeah, I definitely say that pole arms are a little bit different because that... with Yunjin, I would definitely prioritize your Sands to be defense percentage, your Goblet to be Geo damage, and then, of course, your Circlet to either be crit rate or crit damage. She's going to scale on technically defense. For her E, she scales a little bit on her HP, but you don't really need to worry about that too much. It's not like she scales on both. She scales on defense, but her HP shield counter thing is the one that scales on HP. So worry about your defense. That's what your main goal is. Now, granted, HP substats are not going to be a big deal if you have them because they are going to be somewhat useful. So that's what's really cool is that ultimately with Yunjin, she's going to be useful in all sorts of different stuff. I just wouldn't worry about attack percentage per se. Now, obviously your substats, I would worry about defense percentage, crit rate, crit damage, energy recharge, defense flat. Otherwise, everything else like HP percentage, all that, it's not really needed, but you can use it. Now, I would probably put a little bit more of her, let's say, talents, I would say probably her skill's going to be up there, and her burst. Like, it's going to be a tie between the two. Honestly, I think even the burst would be better than the skill because you're going to be wanting to use that burst to get that flag formation consistently. So burst, and then obviously your skill, and then don't even worry about doing your auto attacks because in all honesty, you're not going to be running an auto attack Yunjin unless you're really wanting to main her. And even then, I'm just like, I wouldn't do it. So, and then of course we got Shenhe. Obviously, she's going to be fantastic. We got Calamity Queller. Calamity Queller that's coming out. That's going to be her best in slot weapon, I think. You could run even Lithic Spear again. You could run Staff of Homa, Engulfing Lightning. You could run really anything with her. For 4 stars, definitely Lithic Spear is going to be your top one. The Catch, of course. Death Match. You could run Blackcliff Pole. There's so many options for Shenhe that I think you could use. When it comes to her other stuff, she's going to be kind of scaling on attack, so definitely go for attack percentage when it comes to your stance. Oh, I forgot to say, for Yunjin, I'm going to be running Husk of Opulent. I'm going to be running a 4-piece. Now, for Shenhe, I'm going to be running 2-piece Blizzard Strayer, 2-piece Noblesse. There are people who are running different builds with that stuff. If there's other stuff that, you know, turns out to be a lot better, I'll let you guys know. But right now, I'm banking on 2-piece Blizzard Strayer, 2-piece Noblesse. So I'm hoping that that will work perfectly for her. Sands, go for attack percentage as your main stat. For your Goblet, Cryo damage bonus. And then for your Circlet, either crit rate or crit damage, depending on how your substats turn out. Substats, crit rate, crit damage, attack percentage, attack flat, energy recharge, elemental mastery, you know, just anything outside of HP and defense, because you're not going to be using those at all. So make sure that you're doing that. This one's a little tricky. It's a little difficult for me to say if the skill or the burst are the ones that you want to work on. Her auto attack is gonna be a little bit better to work on, but I still think that auto attack is going to be third on the totem pole. She is going to be somewhat support like, so I would say maybe put the put the skill maybe above, because she's also going to be somewhat of a battery for your Eulas, your Ganyus, and all that stuff, especially with how her abilities play out. So probably skill, burst, auto attack personally, but she can still be used as a DPS, so yeah, kind of works out. So, and then let's go ahead and talk about our boy here. Boom, Xiao. Xiao is the only one that we haven't talked about just yet because he is the other 5-star that's going to be out. Now, Xiao's been out for a very, very long time. And I've built my Xiao. So, on my notes here, I've got him with Primordial Jade Winged Spear because that's his best in-slot weapon. Absolutely. He's great with it. You could run Staff of Homa as well. Staff of Homa is a really good one. And again, it's not like you can't use a 4-star on it. People are saying that you could run Deathmatch, Lithic Spear, Blackcliff Pole, Favonius Lance, even the White Tassel. You could run the White Tassel 3-star. But I have the Primordial Jaded Winged Spear, so I use that on my Xiao. Now, I also run him with a 2-piece Viridescent, 2-piece Glad, because you're building up his attack power, because that's what you need. You need to boost up his attack power as much as you can. Sands, attack percentage. Your Goblet being Animo damage bonus. And then, of course, crit rate or crit damage as your Circlet. You're going to be running crit rate, crit damage as your top priorities for substats, attack percentage, energy recharge, elemental mastery, you know, so on and so forth. Now, for Xiao, you need to focus your normal attacks. And the reason being is that your normal auto attacks are your normal hits, your charge attacks, and your plunges. And with Xiao, when you use his ult, he goes up in the air and plunges down. Up in the air, plunges down. Up in the air, plunges down. You're just continuously doing that. So your jump, melee, jump, melee, jump, melee, jump, melee. It's constant. So you want to make sure you upgrade your normal attacks as much as possible. Your burst is your second option, because your burst is going to be what gives you that extra bonus in attack power. And then, obviously, your skill's really good, but you're mainly using your skill to get your burst. That's it. Xiao is surprisingly fun in some ways. He's still bland and boring in my opinion, but he's still fun in some cases. Like, I had more fun with Xiao than I originally thought I was going to have. Not saying that Xiao is terrible, because Xiao is not. Xiao is an absolute monster DPS, but remember, you're losing health as your burst goes on. So you're gonna have to pair him with a healer, you know, whether it's an animal healer in Sayu or Jean, or you want to go Hydra with Barber or Kokomi, you know, just make sure to pair him with a healer. He's gonna need it. That's for sure. So, but would I say that this is a summon? I mean, yeah. So Shenhe, with her being a little bit unknown, it's kind of hard, but she's smoking, man. Like, oh my god, she would be worth it in my opinion. The 4 stars are a little questionable only because of the fact that I don't use Chongyun and Ningguang I don't really use either. Yujin, Yunjin being a new character, I'm wanting to try her. But if you were to tell me if this was a summon to be worth it, I would say honestly, out of the two, Xiao would be the higher recommendation because I have experience with Xiao. But with Shinhu's like design and her overall abilities as a support slash DPS, you might see me go, okay, Shinhu's kind of worth it too. But with Ganyu and Zhongli on the horizon, I'd have to say if you are a free-to-play player, don't summon on these banners. Wait for Ganyu and Zhongli. And also Yai Miko. We don't even know what's going on with Yai Miko at the moment. So Yai Miko might be like the most broken character in the game. So I would say if you're free to play, skip Shenhe, skip Xiao, go for Ganyu and Zhongli. If you are not free to play, then yeah, it's kind of worth a few summons or two. I'm a whale. I'm gonna be getting both Yunjin and Shenhe, regardless. So let me know in the comments below what you guys think. Do you guys think I'm full of crap, or do you think that I'm right on the button? Don't forget to like and subscribe down below. Hit the notification bell, and please let me know what you guys think. That's ultimately what it is. I want to make sure that if I'm wrong, I can correct myself for later, and then that way it can help the Genshin community a lot more. So that's my ultimate goal. As always, guys, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to entertain you. We will be back with the summons video later on this week. And then, of course, as you're watching this video, I will be streaming later today on twitch.tv/Tystra with some Genshin, kind of getting my last little bit ready for Yunjin. I already have Shenhe ready to go. So, anyways, guys, love you all to death. As always, we will see you guys in the next video or stream. Take care and be safe out there.